So, you want to know how to recognize anxiety? What are the symptoms of this mental health disorder? And maybe you don't even know that you are having a problem. Anxiety is one of those things that can creep up on you without you even realizing it. It's like that one friend who's always there, but you never really notice until it's too late. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. The ways in which anxiety can manifest in our daily lives without us even recognizing it. Living with anxiety can be like trying to navigate a never-ending maze. You think you're doing just fine, but then suddenly you find yourself feeling overwhelmed and stuck. And the scariest part is that many of us don't even realize we're living with anxiety in the first place. We just think we're stressed or tired or going through a phase without ever stopping to think that maybe, just maybe, there's something more going on underneath the surface. I think one of the biggest challenges of identifying anxiety is that it can be so subtle. It's not always about having full-blown panic attacks or feeling like you're on edge all the time. Sometimes it's just a nagging sense of unease or a feeling that you can't quite put your finger on, and because it's so subtle, we often brush it off or chalk it up to something else. But the truth is that anxiety can be lurking beneath the surface, affecting our daily lives in ways we're not even aware of. And the thing is, anxiety isn't just about feeling worried or scared. It can be physical too. Things like tension headaches, stomach problems, or even just feeling tired all the time. These can be symptoms of anxiety that we don't even realize are connected to our mental health. We just think we're having a bad week or that we need to eat more fiber without ever stopping to think that maybe our anxiety is causing these physical symptoms. So, what are some common signs and symptoms of anxiety that might go unnoticed? Well, one of the biggest ones is chronic worrying. That feeling of constantly thinking about the what-ifs and the maybes. It's like having a constant stream of thoughts running through your head that you can't turn off. And it's not just about big things either. It can be about tiny things like what to wear or what to eat for breakfast. Another symptom is irritability. When little things start to annoy you and you find yourself getting angry or frustrated for no reason. It's like your fuse is shorter than usual and you're just waiting for someone or something to set you off. And the thing is, we often blame our irritability on other things like lack of sleep or hormones, without ever stopping to think that maybe our anxiety is causing us to feel this way. Physical symptoms are another big one. Things like tension headaches or stomach problems can be caused by anxiety, but we often chalk them up to other things like dehydration or eating too much junk food. And then there are the emotional symptoms, feelings of restlessness or feeling on edge like you're just waiting for something to happen. One of the most powerful insights I've had about anxiety is that it can be really hard to recognize in ourselves. I remember a time when I was going through a really tough period, and I just felt like I was stuck. I couldn't sleep, I was constantly worried, and I just felt like I was on edge all the time. It wasn't until I started talking to a therapist that I realized I was living with anxiety. And it was one of those moments where I was like, wow, I had no idea. It was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, and I could finally start to address these feelings that had been plaguing me for so long. That moment of realization was so powerful for me because it made me realize that anxiety isn't something to be ashamed of. It's not something that we need to hide or deny. It's something that we need to face head on and deal with. And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to start recognizing the signs and symptoms of anxiety in ourselves and in others, and we need to start talking about it. So, to sum it all up, anxiety can be a subtle but powerful force in our daily lives. It can manifest in ways that we don't even realize, from chronic worrying to physical symptoms like tension headaches. And the key is to start recognizing these signs and symptoms in ourselves and to start talking about it. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever realized that you were living with anxiety without even realizing it? Share your own experiences and stories, and don't forget to check out my next video on some powerful mental health strategies that you can start using today.